Hey guys, Rick Roberts here from the School of Laughs podcast. I just wanted to say thanks for listening for the past couple of years. It's been a nice run. We've interviewed a lot of fun people, some of them my good friends and some new friends. I've had fun teaching you some things throughout some of the episodes, and I hope that the podcast has been like a fun thing for you to look forward to every single week. And I really want to thank you for the past 100 episodes. I would like to record more episodes, but I'm going to need a little help to pull that off. It's turned out to be a major time consumer to keep the School of Laughs podcast going, but I love it, and I get such great feedback from you guys. I want to keep doing it. So what I've come up with is a way for you to help the podcast continue through Patreon. Patreon is a lot like Kickstarter in the sense you can contribute money to help somebody achieve a goal, but unlike Kickstarter, it's an ongoing support, almost like a monthly membership fee if you want to think of it that way. Now, all the podcast episodes are still going to be free. You can listen to them on iTunes, Stitcher, or from the schooloflaughs.com website. But if you'd like to help support the podcast, Patreon makes it easy to do so. One of my favorite features of Patreon is a newsfeed that is only available to you and me, the listener and myself. All of the listeners and myself have access to that feed, and we can share ideas. I can share with you special podcast episodes that won't be available to those folks that aren't supporting the podcast. There'll be some Q&A, be some other cool features going on. And in fact, let's just take a look at some of the features Patreon has right now. Let's take a look at the School of Laughs Laugh Partner Rewards here. I call these Laugh Partner Rewards, kind of like Life Partner since we're in this together, but we're just going to laugh together. That's as far as we're going to go in that relationship. Hey, for $1 a month, you have access to that private Patreon newsfeed I was talking about, and that's a very specific newsfeed only for the listeners who support the podcast. So dedicated people like you who enjoy what they hear and get a lot out of it. We're going to share tips amongst each other. I'll be posting videos specific for you guys that no one else can get a hold of. It's going to be a lot of fun, and that's just at $1 a month. Also for that, you get 10% off of any live or online class. Really quickly, you can make your dollar back if you take advantage of that. At $3 a month, I'll do a Fixie joke for you on a new episode, and I'll also give you a shout out and a website mention as a sponsor at the beginning or end of the podcast. At $5 a month, you get everything from the first two levels, plus access to that mini podcast that I do with selected guests after the regular podcast is over. And that's where they give me their best tips for stand-up comedians, whether it's a business tip, traveling tip, or writing or performance tip. So we've got some of those in the can already. They're very cool. And that, again, is only available at the $5 per month level. $7 per month, again, you get everything mentioned before, plus you'll be invited to a monthly Google Hangout with me and other listeners at the same level. We'll share some tips, we'll kind of kick back, just have a good time. Think of it as like a little party where we all hang out once a month, a portable green room if you want to think about that. And at $7 a month, I'll include you in Club 52. Now, what is Club 52? You may not have heard about that on the podcast yet, but it's a new project I'm launching. It's not exactly a comedy course, but it's a 52-week, a one-year comedy challenge. And that starts the day you start supporting the podcast, regardless of what the year is. It starts 52 emails. Each week you'll get an email, a challenge from me to help you take your comedy to the next level. I'll give you an example of what I'm talking about, and I'll ask you to try to tackle it so that you get the benefits from that same thing. That's Club 52, and that's only available at the $7 per month level. At $10 a month, you'll get everything mentioned previously, plus feedback and tips on a video that you upload to YouTube or send to me that I watch of you performing, doing your stand-up. I'll give you some insight, what I see and what you maybe can do better, how you can fix things, and maybe even some added punchlines or tags that you can include with your jokes. Or if you don't want to do that, I could do a quick private analysis of your website for you, take a look at it, show you what I would change, what might be a turnoff to bookers and club managers, what might be better for you if you're pursuing a specific niche in comedy. Either one of those things you can take advantage of at the $10 a month level. So there you go. Lots of cool stuff and fun ways you can support the podcast. And at any point, of course, you can stop and cancel your membership to Patreon and not support the podcast at all. And that's up to you. If you think that's the right thing to do, is just to not support it, I support your decision. But hopefully you will partner with me and we can reach our monthly goals and keep these podcast episodes going. If you have any questions, feel free to direct message me on Facebook, send me a message on email, schooloflaughs@gmail.com, or even give me a quick phone call, 1-888-895-8549. I've had a lot of fun, want to keep the party going, but I do need a little help. Maybe you can be the person to help me. Thanks a lot. Talk to you next week.
for listening to the School of Laughs podcast. If you'd like to hear more School of Laughs podcasts, you can find them on iTunes and Stitcher.com. And don't forget to subscribe and leave a review. For information on upcoming live and online classes, visit schooloflaughs.com. Until next time, stay tuned, stay focused, and stay funny.